Hey there, just wanted to connect with you again today. It's our little 1 o'clock connect in time, and today I want to talk about wasted pain. I want to talk to you guys about how I have learned some things really the hard way in this department and share it with you, and hopefully it will really support where you're at. And then also talking kind of in that vein about the hidden treasures that are found in pain, and giving you guys a chance and an exercise to be able to look at that if you choose to. So my name is Tally. I am a life and personal development coach, lifestyle coach. I work with leaders to create lives for them that are balanced in overflow in terms of impact in their life and that are centered in joy. And so a lot of the things that I have discovered personally and things that I do and work with them, whether it's group coaching or my mastermind or one-on-one clients, I just thought I would show up here every day at 1 and give you guys some of the wisdom that I've learned over time through my own experiences and in working with these leaders. So this is just a place that I will be every day at 1, and if you want to connect here, would love to have you either live or for the replay. And if you want to get the notes on this, I'm going to be emailing those out too. So if you like to read more than you like videos, or if you just want to have the link to the video on a replay, feel free to direct message me your email and we'll make sure you get on that list. So, wasted pain. Today we were talking about, so many times in my own life when I've gone through something really challenging and I get to the other side of it and it totally worked itself out, and I look at how much energy I gave to the stress, the pain, the fear, and I look at, like sleepless nights that I've had. I look at all the conversations I had with different people. I look at just the internal stress on my body, or sometimes it's gotten me sick. I look at some of the repercussions for being in the level of pain and fear that I was in, and then watched how it just all worked out and something really beautiful came out of it. And I've thought oh my gosh, all of those minutes or hours or days or even months, there's so much wasted time and energy and angst in it. And so I've almost gotten to the place where when something challenging comes up, this isn't always, but very often when something challenging comes up, there's this oh, what is the gift that's going to be here in this? Because so many times, really every time that I can think of, every painful situation that I have ever been in has not only worked out, but they have been some of the greatest sources for me of the biggest things that I've gotten, the greatest things that I've gotten, whether it's a deepening of my faith and connection with Source, whether it is deepening relationships in my life and feeling love and support where I didn't expect to see it, whether it is connecting to myself in a deeper way and finding something about me that I'm oh my gosh, I didn't know that I was such a freaking overcomer. It builds confidence. So many gifts have come out of the most challenging times in my life. And so because I've had that, and I've had a decent amount of them, which I do kind of think that pain is a shortcut to the greatest gifts. So because that is now an interpretation that I have about challenge and pain, when I come into situations that are challenging and painful, often I'll be ooh, what is the gift here? I was talking with one of the guys in my mastermind. I started mentioning this yesterday and I thought, okay, we got to save that for another day. So we're talking about it today. So we were just talking about how are we really doing and what's really going on. And I was I think it's kind of interesting, but what I feel is this kind of giddy anticipation. Not that I'm at all okay with the people who are suffering and a lot of the things going on. I'm not, and I have a lot of compassion for it. But when I look at the whole experience in general, there is I described it kind of like the night before Christmas, when you have this kind of what is about to unfold? What are the gifts that are going to be given in this season, in this time, through what we're going through? And I just know there's going to be massive, beautiful things that happen in so many people's lives and in our communities as a whole. Because I don't think you can go through something really challenging and not have amazing gifts come out of it. if you're operating from that place of everything happens for you, like we talked about several days ago, that is the interpretation. Like you do get excited about what are the beautiful things that I'm going to come into. How am I going to grow? How am I going to develop? What are the connections that are going to happen here? Just so many possibilities. So there's a hopefulness, there's a sense of confidence, there's an anticipation. And I also want to say, if that's not where you are, you're not wrong. We talked about that yesterday. Like wherever you are is fine. If you're in a place of feeling a lot of grief right now, or pain, or like a hopelessness or fear, like it's totally okay that that's where you're at. So I don't want to make this like right versus some other way of being. It's just how I'm feeling right now. 100% agree, Andy says. I think we'll learn a lot from this and the world will be humbled. Yeah, absolutely. Good to see you guys on here. Thanks for jumping on live. And if you're watching the replay, would love to have your comments too. I'll go back and read all of them. So one of the things I want to say is that when you can look back over your life at the challenging things that have happened to you, and you begin to look for the ways that those have been used for you, when you begin to see and look for the gifts that have been in them, I think that's part of what creates this framework for when you run into the next challenges, like, oh, what will this be for me? What will this mean for me? How am I going to grow? What am I going to get? What are the treasures, the hidden treasures in pain? That is such a real thing. And so I have an exercise for you that I think will be supportive. You can either think about it if you're an internal processor or if you're more of an external processor. I find journaling to be super helpful. And whatever your spiritual background is, you don't need to be religious to do this, but just sit with a journal or in your own mind, or maybe you could even process it with someone. Or you do it in meditation or in yoga, however it works into your experience that you guys already do in reflective ways. But I find journaling really supportive. So sit with your journal and write the question, source of love. Can you show me how you've used the challenges in my life to shortcut me into some of my greatest gifts? And then just sit and listen and see what it is that you hear, and then write that down. And like just write down like maybe the 5 greatest challenges you've been through. Maybe it's the loss of a loved one, or maybe it's something around finances when you've been in a place of just scarcity and feeling like, oh my gosh, how is this going to work out? Or maybe it's, these are all things that have been true for me. Going through the loss of things that, like maybe your greatest fears being realized, or fear for one of your children. There are so many different places that we've had challenges. Maybe it's something physical, like a diagnosis, or a really challenging transition in your life. So just think through what have been the greatest places of pain in my life. Let those things surface and maybe bullet point them, write them down, and then just ask, source of love, what are the ways that you have used those challenges as gifts for me? What are the things? So whether it's, finding your faith or knowing yourself better, we kind of talked about some of these at the beginning of the video, or connection with other people, places of support that you didn't even know were actually available to you that you've connected to. What have been the beautiful gifts for you? And that will, I promise you, start creating a framework. So when challenges happen, there is a hopefulness for you in it. Even if it doesn't feel good, you know that it's going to be good for you. And you begin to get into alignment with that place that everything is happening for me, not to me. So hopefully that supports you. Hopefully that exercise is something that you'll take a few minutes to do. And I would love to hear either some of the challenges that you already are keyed into, even before doing the exercise, and how it has been a blessing to you in some way. Or if you go ahead and do this, I want to hear the results. So jump on here and be part of the conversation. It supports other people to be like, oh yeah, I went through something similar, and you're right, that is how it worked for me. So be a support to one another. I am here for you guys. Feel free to direct message me if you have any questions or want to process any of this. I'm here. I have more time. I'm home and available to you guys. So blessings. I will be back again tomorrow at 1, talking about something else that hopefully will support you guys. Have a blessed day.